What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. Today, I would like to start off with a very special shout out to my birthday buddy, Mr. Keegan Hendricks, whose birthday happens to be today, the very day that this video is being released. So, happy birthday, Keegan. I hope you have a great one. And I do mean that genuinely, because I believe in the words of Ezekiel 18, where he says the sons will not share in the guilt of their father. For your father, on the other hand, he made some comments in some podcast earlier this week. As was it just yesterday? I don't know. He keeps changing the day that he releases it, but he came at the title of my videos, and I hopefully this video's title was catchy enough or caught your attention enough. It was clickbaity enough for you. It was interesting because we're going to be looking at some GoC Only and what I believe could very well be, at least in my opinion, one of the decks in GoC Only that I really hope isn't the best. Because if I'm being honest, I mean, really, I don't think anyone can know what the best deck in GoC Only is, because there just hasn't been very much play of it. I don't think it just hasn't been very popular as far as I can tell. We play it once a month or so in the online tournaments that we have since late last year. Once GoC Phase 2 came out, then GoC Only kind of became a legitimate format in that the whole set was available, and so you could actually really build for it. I think some people were playing GoC Only before Phase 2 came out. I think Rob M did a video with that. But yeah, now that it's all available, you can do it officially in tournaments, and so we've been doing those in the online locals, which the video that you're watching now, or the game that you're about to watch, is the game against René from the most recent online local, where he and I were the two players in GoC Only. There were 4 players in Type 1 2-player, but yeah, we had just us two, and this was the last Saturday in May, so just a couple Saturdays ago. So he and I played. This is the deck that I said I hope is not the best, because it's the first GoC Only deck that I built, give or take. I made a few changes since then, or really, I mean, for this weekend, I hadn't changed it a whole lot in previous tournaments, but for this one, I had to make a few swaps, in part because when I first built it, I didn't have all of the cards that I now have in here, and I think some of them are fairly important, like Bethlehem Stable and Mary were 2 of the notable ones that I didn't have in here previously, that I was, as I was preparing for the tournament, I was like, oh, I should really have those in here. So I have copies of those now, and so those are in the deck, which does have to be played with physical cards. If you do want to play in the online tournament at some point, I highly encourage it. It's done over Zoom. You can see the dates for it in the tournaments section of the Discord, or there's also the sanctioned online tournaments post on the forums under the Redemption official tournaments sub-forum, all that stuff. There's a post there where you can find information about that, like when the next one is going to be hosted and how they operate and everything. Chris and Derek have both been great at hosting those. Chris has kind of handed the baton off, fully to Derek at this point, and he's been running those, which I'm grateful that Rob has continued to allow them to run those. And I think it's a great opportunity that people should take better advantage of. Of course, lives are busy, and it's tough to make time for online local tournaments sometimes. But I do think that it's a good opportunity to kind of get that tournament feel with without especially if you don't have the opportunity to do so in like a local play group. You play your games back to back, and it's physical cards, doing all the shuffling and playing it out and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely enjoy it, and that is the means by which I've been playing GoC Only for the limited amount of time that I have. So anyways, I won't dwell on that too much longer. I have done one other GoC specific video, which was on Lackey. That was a game late last year. I think it was in October, so not too long after GoC Only actually became like possible as a format, or like an official format in tournaments. I played a Angels and Demons deck, and so that and this deck comprise the only two decks that I have built in the GoC Only format. And this one has been tweaked a little bit here and there, but yeah, I think it's tough to say what the best deck in GoC Only really is, especially just because I don't think like very many of the more competitive players have put a whole lot of time into kind of analyzing the GoC Only meta, that kind of stuff. So it is kind of fun, and I think that's probably where it will stay, is just kind of a fun format. It's not all that competitive, and so yeah, I would definitely recommend trying it out. I know at least Jay, he built a GoC Only deck, and he played in one of the tournaments. I will say that this deck could be the best GoC Only deck, because I don't think that it's lost yet. Someone who has beat me in GoC Only in one of the online tournaments can correct me if I'm wrong here, but if I remember correctly, I don't believe I have lost to this deck. I might have tied. That wouldn't surprise me, but a lot of the games do time out. But I don't think this deck has lost yet, and so that's just putting the challenge out there for next time for GoC Only. Odds are that I probably won't build a different deck. So this will be roughly what you could be going up against if you decide to join one of those tournaments. And you also get one of the super fancy GoC Only promos, which are either Golgotha, which this is the version that is there, or is offered for that. Herod's Temple, there's a different version, and Clinging to Power, there's a different version than that one. Normally I like to spice up my decks on Lackey here with all of the most exciting, or the most rare alternate arts, but just for reference, I mean, these are the versions that I'm using in my GoC Only deck, and so I just want it to be consistent for what you're seeing here versus what you'll be seeing in the video. All right, so what is the deck that I am using here? I kind of started out, at least with the offense, as really just like trying to have fun with Star of Bethlehem. Like, what star abilities can I activate that would just kind of maybe annoy my opponent? So we've got cards like Jairus, Talitha Kum, Teaching in Parables, and Jairus' Daughter, and I believe I had one of the other enhancements that reserve the top. I think it's maybe Submission to Christ. I think I had that in here previously, and the idea was just try to reserve a bunch of cards off the top of my opponent's deck with Star of Bethlehem. As it is, I can only get up to 4 right now. I think with Submission I could get up to 5. Never really happened that way, but it was possible, and that's kind of just what I was going for. It seemed like just kind of a fun strategy to be able to do. So that is really where the concept came together, but the way in which it works more so is that the gold just gives some of the kind of raw power. I think Jairus is pretty strong, and Amazing Faith, of course, is very strong. If you've seen any of the NT gold decks, Amazing Faith is kind of one of the linchpins, I guess, of that strategy, where it's very it can be tough to get around. And then teaching comparables also is just a card that I was like, oh, this is a really good card. I should use it in whichever deck I ended up playing. And so that went in there. And then nativity was just because I also wanted to use Star of Bethlehem. And so we put in some nativity heroes. There were a couple more in here before I had Zechariah and Elizabeth. They came out for Mary and I think Good Shepherd, because Good Shepherd was in reserve and I swapped it over to the main deck. I also took Angel Party out of reserve because GoC only decks, or well, games, GoC only games do not finish and you do not deck out rarely. I think I might have actually decked out in one game that I played, but it's probably not going to happen. You typically you might get 5 turns at the most, probably. And so it is, I think, possible to finish a game in GoC only. And part of the reason I think that it was slow is, at least early on, was that people just weren't very familiar with the cards. And so, especially when you're playing over Zoom, you can't just reach over and read one of your opponent's cards. You gotta, ask them what it does. It takes some time. I like to have Lackey open when I'm doing the online tournaments so that when they say what card they're playing, if I don't remember exactly what it does, I can just type it into Lackey quick and read it there. That way I don't have to take up the time of asking. But anyways, I think that you shouldn't rely on cards like Angel Party, I guess, or like you shouldn't rely on getting a win via the cross. Because you're probably not going to deck out, they're probably not going to deck out, even if you help them out by reserving some of the cards off the top of their deck. So I took out Angel Party, I moved Good Shepherd over to reserve, and I popped Simon and Authority of Christ over in reserve as just kind of a way if we get late in the game, they've got a bunch of their defense out and it's not looking like I'm going to be able to get through very easily, and I have a way to negate their Herod's Temple, then we're just going to grab Simon and AOC out of reserve somehow. So, I don't know, Jerusalem, Good Seed, Crowd's Choice. There's a decent number of options. And hopefully just blow things up. As far as like just GoC only in general, I would say like for Lost Souls, you could do all Meek Lost Souls and do one of the Meek Lost Soul strategies. You could do all Special Ability Lost Souls and just take advantage of all of the pretty decent special abilities on Lost Souls, especially ones like Undesirables, where if you're in a slow format like this, skipping your next rescue attempt is going to be very bad, for lack of a more descriptive word. It's going to make things very challenging for you to keep up with your opponent. And I mean, you're probably not going to finish the game completely either way. But if you're only getting 3 or 4 turns, then losing one of those turns is maybe 3 to 5 turns. Then losing one of those turns is going to be very it's going to very much hinder your ability to win, or reduce your chances, I guess. You can also do like a hybrid, some of the Lost Souls you might not necessarily need, or maybe you don't want to use them. Something like Salty, if you've got a lot of territory class enhancements, you don't want to include that one. You could put in just like 1 or 2 Meek Lost Souls, so you could take advantage of things like Burial, or maybe you want to use Good Shepherd and you can do some drawing with him once in a while, or something like Tenants Kill the Sun, which or like Just a Hireling, they cannot be prevented if you control a Meek Lost Soul. So that can enable some of those cards, and you can fish them out with cards like the Manger, where you're playing a Lost Soul from each deck, or Amazing Faith. If you don't need a Soul Gen from their deck, you can go in from yours. Stuff like that, or Lost Child Found. Using Star of Bethlehem to activate the star abilities on Amazing Faith or Lost Child Found is it's a good way to make sure that you have Lost Souls to go after, because if you get Soul Droughted, that's another way in which GoC only can, that's bad. That's the word we're going with. that you're kind of like having to skip turns, which you don't have very many of. And so yeah, that's kind of the thought process with Lost Souls in GoC Only with dominance. There are 7 dominants in the set. The one that I'm not including in this deck is Voice from Heaven, which some people might be, taken aback by, like, oh, how could you not include Voice from Heaven? I don't think it's quite as effective in GoC Only as it can be in Type 1. It's maybe still worth the slot, but because I have one free dominant slot, like, I might as well. But I don't know. There's not quite as much protection, at least on with offenses. I suppose maybe against like the Herods, it could be nice to play that during battle and then have, regardless of protection, enhancements, or I guess against Herod's Temple, playing Authority of Christ. That right there might actually be why that would be worth it. I'll have to think about that a little bit more. But I just don't think that like taking out their reserve is quite as useful, especially if you're taking out your own. I just think that the value of your cards and their cards is going to be roughly the same. I mean, you do get to choose, so that's like which cards you do from both reserves, and there might be ones that are more relevant than others, but I don't know. It just didn't really feel like it was necessary here. The other dominance that you might not play if you're not using the particular themes that they're relevant for could be Star of Bethlehem, which really just counts the number of nativity heroes, but I would probably recommend using this anyway, especially because you could pretty easily splash in the Heavenly Host and Chamber of Angels, which, yes, is not in this deck. It should be. I thought it was already in the deck when I was making changes, and so I didn't think to add it. And then we got to playing the game, and I was like, oh, I don't know, Chamber of Angels in here. Weird. So that should be in here. But anyways, you could splash Heavenly Host and Chamber into pretty much any GoC Only deck, and then you can use Star of Bethlehem. Also, Gabriel is kind of a staple for GoC Only, so yeah, you might as well. Burial is the other one that you might not necessarily need. If you're not using Meek Souls, it probably won't be quite as effective. But I would probably still include it anyway because, for one, I think Jerusalem is a staple, and if you don't need Burial, or if it's not convenient or like going to help you out, you could discard it in order to get back an Evil Human to use that second ability on Jerusalem here. But also, there aren't that many ways to negate an opponent's like undesirables. For instance, that's kind of the most important one to keep in mind when you're playing GoC Only, to the point where, like, if you're blocking and you're going to lose the battle, but you have Harvest Time in hand, you might as well play it, get your undesirables out, and give it to them, because that's going to set you ahead in the long run. Or it's you didn't get that block, but it is going to block for next turn, or block, quote unquote. So having a burial can help against that, where my opponent sneaks out an undesirable somehow. Maybe you could even use Star of Bethlehem and Amazing Faith, or activate the star ability on Amazing Faith and play undesirables. There's plenty of ways to get it out, to the point where, like, I almost should just have that in here as my one non-Meek Soul, but anyways, Burial can be used to underdeck your opponent's undesirables, assuming that they have other Lost Souls that they can give you if you make a successful rescue. So that's a way to use it that will, it's flexible in that way, I should say. As we get into the utility cards, a few more of what I would consider to be GoC Only staples include Golgotha, Bethlehem Stable, and Herod's Temple. Golgotha, gets you pretty much any evil character in the set, and the first enhancement, being CBP, is actually fairly relevant against cards like Jairus and Lazarus that can be negating your your evil cards, and there aren't that many CBP enhancements in the set. I think each theme does have like one or two, and then a few like cannot be negated enhancements like this Herod's Banquet or Ambush. But I think that Golgotha is definitely worth including in pretty much every deck. I can't think of like a GoC only deck where I would specifically not really care to use Golgotha. The cross is also helpful, and so having that place to activate it is decent too. Bethlehem Stable. There are very few ways to negate good fortresses in GoC, and so good fortresses are going to be one of the stronger card types because they don't have, your opponent's not going to have cards like Shipwreck or Three Woes to negate Bethlehem Stable, and the Manger only negates evil and neutral cards, and a lot of other cards like there's Elizabeth, there's Chamber of Angels, those negate evil cards. There's the neutral negators, they only negate neutrals, so it means that your good fortresses are pretty much safe. There are a few cards that can negate them, like this one, Reprimand, Repercussion, and Inherited Grip of the First, and can negate a card, but it's only for one phase, so it's not like ongoing or anything. Protecting your hand deck in reserve can be very helpful. I don't think there are really any ways in which this could come back to bite you in this set. There aren't that many, if any, things where it's like opponent may underdeck a card from hand instead or something. Or if it is, it's not CBN, like Entrapping Pharisees or Terrifying Beast. I guess Entrapping Pharisees is technically in this set. It's legacy rare, but other than that, I would say that there are not really any downsides to Bethlehem Stable. Which now that I'm saying that, maybe people are going to start running Entrapping Pharisees and GoC only. But if you do, that's probably just a good tech. Because I think most people are going to be running Bethlehem Stable, even if you're not running Nativity. Herod's Temple, another one, or like the only deck I wouldn't play it is specifically in an Angels and Demons deck. I think it's good if you're using humans either on offense or defense. Get them protection and give them that toss ability can be nice, or even just the ability to reserve cards off the top of your deck. Put more cards in your reserve so that your Jerusalem gets a little bit more value, or you get some more options from it, which Jerusalem also is a card that I think is worthwhile to include in pretty much every GoC only deck. The real trick will just be deciding whether to play it as a site or a fortress, because either the ways to negate neutral cards like Resurrection Revealer and James would hit the site side, whereas the ways to hit evil cards in territories such as Elizabeth and Chamber of Angels are going to hit the fortress side. So you can kind of just, if you've seen part of your opponent's deck, you can kind of make an educated guess as to what's more likely to stick around. So, anyways, I talked about the offense a little bit, where I'm just trying to reserve cards off the top of my opponent's deck with Talitha Kum, Teaching of Parables, those star abilities and Star of Bethlehem. The rest of it is just kind of like trying to punch through and being, getting a little bit of extra speed from Star of Bethlehem, and then also Hospitality and Bethany, the star ability there. So we're just trying to get as much punch as we can early on, with a little bit of searching to get the important stuff out, and maybe also using some of our opponent's stuff with Gabriel banning to our opponent's offense, Talitha Kum and Hospitality and Bethany also doing some banding there. So plenty of offensive punch, and I think that even with the hybrid or really kind of splashed offense here, with between the gold, white, and a little bit of silver, it's all pretty good. One of the best heroes in this offense is Good Shepherd, which is why I actually moved from the reserve to the main deck, because I wanted to use it more as a hero than as an enhancement. In the reserve, it was kind of more as an enhancement, but I realized that the hero side was actually pretty sweet. Restricting the evil dominance, negating Lost Souls, such as undesirables and getting that draw ability, and then being able to use every enhancement in the offense seems pretty good. So anyways, moving on to the defense, the idea with the defense was to utilize some of the synergies between Herods and Sadducees, namely Herod Agrippa II, who can ban to a Sadducee and cannot be negated. So using kind of the strength of the Herods with a little bit of the soul hiding stuff of the Sadducees, I thought would be kind of fun to try out. We've got Annis, just a hireling, and then just some of the brute force that we have with cards like Herod's Guard to dwindle some of their resources, Herod the Great to get Herod's Temple out early and do some tossing. And then both of these themes, the other kind of reason for running these two themes together is that both of them have a tutor enhancement that can be used to get any evil New Testament card from deck or reserve. So Surreptitious Scheme and Herod's Treachery can be used to go and get something like Crowd's Choice, or they can, which can go to any good card, or just go to something that I think I'm going to want to block, or even play it during a block. This deck was initially created before the one territory class limitation, so that kind of hinders the strategy a little bit here, but both of these are pretty good to use in battle as well, so it's not necessarily a bad thing to have to do that. So that's kind of the idea with the splash on the defense here as well. I think that it makes for some pretty interesting battles and some just ways to block that are pretty solid, and also using Herodias, which is fairly strong. I would say it's kind of a similar effect as Voice from Heaven, but probably better. I mean, it's obviously easier to stop, but if you can land it and get her to stick around unnegated, then you're going to have more access to cards than your opponent does, which is going to be good. And she can come out with Golgotha or Clinging or either of these two enhancements here. So anyways, yeah, that's pretty much everything that we got going on here with the deck. Like I said, playing a game against René. Before we get into that, I suppose I will head over to Your Turn Games, which, by the way, they still have their Israel's Rebellion pre-orders going on, and I don't think I mentioned this last week, but if you pre-order a complete set of Israel's Rebellion, so let's say you're not like me, you're not as excited about opening packs and you just want to be the most practical. I mean, I do like to be practical, but I like to open packs as well. And you just want to go for the complete set so that you can build whatever deck you want. That is definitely a reasonable way to go about it. And once you do that, you'll receive a free $25 Your Turn Games gift card to go with that. So then your next purchase is kind of already set to go. So also, Israel's Deliverance is still available for pre-order. So if you go and check those out on Your Turn Games, you can just go to Buy Redemption CCG and then pre-orders and see what all is available there. They also have contender decks, which that podcast I mentioned earlier also talked about some of the recent tournaments, such as the Northeast Regional Tournament, which was apparently won by a modified contender deck. It was this Anti-Gold Thieves deck that was modified slightly, adding some of the ultra rares that aren't really for a contender deck budget. Cards like Emmaus Road and Sheol, and I think there was maybe one more that was added. Three Woes, I think. Second Coming was not added to replace New Jerusalem, so that was kept in there, which in an environment that is fairly competitive. There are some pretty decent players up there in the Northeast region, and for a modified contender deck to come out on top is, I mean, for one, kind of encouraging to me, as I happen to be the one who built this deck, and I I lost to it at the contender deck tournament at Nationals. Well, it was I guess it was a little bit different. At that point, it was NT Gold with Pharisees and Sadducees. But now with Thieves, I think it's even stronger. And to come out on top at a regional tournament, it's pretty solid. And I think goes to show that these contender decks are pretty much like ready to take to a tournament as soon as you buy them. And by pretty much, I mean like you can do fairly well in a tournament. Right out the box. Out of the yeah, I guess they come in a box. Right out the gate, and I think that most of them are pretty solid. I'm sure that there was some masterful piloting of the deck behind it as well, so it's not just like a automatically going to win you games when you get them. But I was excited to hear that the this deck in particular was one that was used to do well. So if you are on a little bit more of a budget and you're just getting started with the game, but you want to play competitively, buying a contender deck from Your Turn Games can help you get to that competitive level to potentially even win a regional tournament. Who knows? So that was pretty cool. Anyways, Your Turn Games has plenty of stuff for you to check out outside of that. And with that, I think we're gonna just go ahead and get into the game. Wait, first, I'll just mention, um, normally during the Lackey Grand Prix, I will be posting gameplay videos from the Lackey Grand Prix, but this week, I just didn't feel like you guys were gonna be quite ready for the deck that I used in round 2 against Rob Smith. And so we're going to give that another week for you guys just to prepare yourselves mentally and emotionally, physically, spiritually, all those things. And I will also be doing the same because I'm not quite sure I'm ready to share the deck with you guys either. So that's it's going to be happening next week, almost certainly. If it doesn't, well, that's my channel, so there. But just next week we'll have that game, which was a pretty good game. It was a longer one, so hopefully you guys are excited, already looking forward to that. All right, now we'll go ahead and get into today's game, which again, Zoom online official local versus René GoC only. Let's do it. 1 hour.
I'll have Revealer.
Rich, I have a Meek Colossal. I will choose you to go first.
Okay. I have, I guess, only 1 star. Yeah, unfortunately. Mm,
That one's not going to help you a whole lot.
no, doesn't have. So star, it doesn't do anything at the moment. So
All right.
boss.
I've got 3. So I will reserve the top card of your deck, reserve the top card of your deck, and play a Lost Soul from your deck.
The first 2 reserved from deck.
Yep, reserve the top twice. Spell from Heaven, Inherits Guard, cool.
And then the third plays a Lost Soul.
Correct. Yep.
You can
Started, by the way, Derek.
you can see the deck.
Yep. Says
Quiet.
Defiled, yep.
Shadow. Harvest. Salty. Sorry, Galileans. Sorry, my bad. Salty. Undesirables. That's it.
They're all kind of undesirable, but I guess we'll go with Shut Door.
Okay. So then I can do my revealer
Hmm.
on your deck.
Okay. John, Grapes, Harvest Time, Gabriel, Resurrection. Oh. Herod the Great, Heavenly Host, Watchful Servant, Sychar, Hospitality and Bethany, Good Shepherd. There's a lost soul.
So, took a
Would you,
while.
would you like to play the evil character?
No,
Oh. And see the rest get shuffled or underdecked?
underdecked.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm starting,
Yep.
putting down Herod's Temple, Judas, and then,
Nope, I can kind of see a few cards in your hand there if you want to bring that
oh,
back.
sorry. Yeah, thanks. Um, then I tried to make a rescue attempt with Gabriel, taking a silver gospel card from deck. I will go with the Annunciation.
All right. I will block with Herod's Guard, prevent the next good card played in battle, and I believe I want that guy. Yeah. I'll do Herod the Great. I will play Herod's Temple from my deck. And I guess your Judas is protected, so I can't choose him. So that is my block. Your
Will you
initiative.
reserve top card?
What's that?
Will you reserve top card?
No, not right now.
Not right.
So I'm just preventing the next good card or next card you play.
You're protected from it.
Preventing it with Herod's Guard.
Okay. I play crowd choices. Good.
Okay.
Let's try Legion of Angels.
Okay.
And then I will play another dominant. Grapes to get rid of your Herod. Shuffle my Gape. And try to go again. Now it's a new battle and Executioner is no longer working, right?
Correct. Yep.
Oh, come. Clumsy hands today. I'm trying again with Legion. Protected. My Gospel Heroes from lone evil characters. I can draw X number of my Gospel Angels. Once per battle, while 2 or more evil characters are blocking, I can take a good dominance from deck. I can draw 1.
Yep. And you will rescue a soul.
Hey, how did that happen? Okay, then putting down Chamber of Angels. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're good to go.
All right. Turn with 3. All right. I will activate the cross. A little bit late there, I guess. I'm gonna put down Mary. And I will play Good Seed. And put down Emphatic Incriminators. Yeah, I think with that, I'm actually just going to pass the turn.
Okay. So I'm not playing a star. I play Crown of Thorns. Nothing to
Alright.
bounce, but negating your good seed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I try to make a rescue attempt again with Legion. Draw 1.
Alright. Um, I will block with Heritage Grip of the Second. Get protectabilities on fortresses. If you're withdraws from battle, I can capture it, and I'll ban to a Sadducee. Ban to Emphatic Incriminators. Negate a good card, which will be Judas. And then I will draw 1.
Okay. So I may take a good dominant from my deck now.
Yep.
Try Harvest Time.
Yep.
I can take a good dominant from deck. So you are now 16-15, right?
Correct.
I play Temptation in the Wilderness, place it in my territory, and then I banish it to add my. I can add to battle from hand, right?
Yep.
Adding Comforting Cherubs. I play a Lost Soul from your deck,
Alright.
and I can draw 1.
They're all meek, so I'll just
Let's go for a Meek.
ban
And
through everything if you want.
interesting mixture. Okay. And I can draw 1
Yep.
due to my redeemed souls. Now I'm at 14-14, still my initiative.
Yep.
So I guess I will just put them in chamber.
Okay.
6, 7. Okay, you may go.
Draw 3. Lost Soul. Alright. Upkeep. Good seed is negated. I will put down Jerusalem as a site. And suppose I'll occupy it just in case. I will move to battle. I will rescue with Mary, Holy Virgin. We'll negate and reserve your Crown of Thorns. And I will take a star card from reserve, which will be Jairus' daughter. And I will not convert Mary.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my rescue.
And I will try to block with Herod the Great. I can play a Herald from deck, but I cannot choose any of your heroes since you don't have one. I will play. I will play Archie,
All right.
and then I will reserve the top card from my deck to make things tough.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is Undesirables.
Interesting. Oh, that's annoying. Yep, I think I just go for it. I'm gonna use Good Seed. We'll reserve it to add Jarvis's daughter to battle. And I will not top deck her. My initiative.
Yeah.
And we'll toss Delete the Coom for 5.
So I'm now 7-5.
Yep. And then I will toss Amazing Faith for 7.
Okay, then he died. And you will get the undesirable.
Yep. And then I'll pass.
Fired. Galileans. I play that star to top deck a New Testament artifact from reserve. From okay, doesn't do anything. Change and even uses some card from hand, even uses some card matching the gate from deck. Rodius daughter for slinging. So I guess nothing in upkeep. You can take these 2 guys back. Put down Angel of the Harvest. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how many cards do you have in your hand?
6.
So I put down. So you have Agrippa the second, right?
Yep.
And the Sadducee. Okay, put down 2 Herods. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I play a Gospel Angel from deck, since when playing Angel appears, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in hand left, so you have hand advantage.
Yep.
And I will play Resurrection Revealer to negate your neutral cards.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Then I will try to make a rescue attempt. Okay, let's try the following. I will try again with Legion, protected from low evil characters, may draw 3. That's the rescue.
All right. Block with Herod's Guard, prevent the next good card. Exchange to territory for Herod Agrippa II. And ban 2 emphatic incriminators. I will negate Legion of Angels. And I will not.
Hey guys, you have 30 minutes.
Okay, thanks, Derek.
So do 3 cards go back?
Yep.
So now you're again 16,
16,
15.
15.
And the next card is prevented.
Correct.
So then I play the Annunciation, which is prevented, and I'm 13, 16 in my initiative.
Yep.
Then I will negate your incriminators. So I can draw my 3 again, right?
Yes.
And since it's a character, I won't discard it. But your drawn cards go back.
I didn't draw.
Okay. Now I'm 16 strength and 18 toughness.
All right, so my initiative.
Yes.
I will. I'll play Surreptitious Scheme. I'll take an evil New Testament card from my deck. Tenants kill the sun. And I will discard a good card in battle, which will be Legion of Angels.
Then Legion goes to chamber. Discarded. Didn't draw anything useful, unfortunately. Okay, then it's your turn.
Draw 3. Yeah, I'll go ahead and use the star ability on No Need for Spices. Top deck a good dominant from deck. I will top deck Crowd's Choice. And yeah, I'm just going to put down my Archie. And I will pass the turn. Silly undesirables.
I put down my Jerusalem. Fired in. In which phase can I take angels from chamber? Preparation?
Yeah, preparation, yep.
Try to make a rescue attempt with Expatriator. I negate your black evil character, the Incriminators.
Yep.
I can ban to a Gospel Angel. I will ban to Guardians to protect lost souls from evil cards, and I will ban to your Mary Holy Virgin.
Okay.
And I will negate and reserve an evil on neutral card. So your evils are protected.
Yep.
The cross and reserve it.
Yep.
I can take I can take any star card from reserve. I will grab Magnificat and I will not convert her.
Makes sense. And what are your numbers?
I'm now 15-15.
Okay.
Plus Mary, then I'm 16-18.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. All right, I will block with Herod's Guard to prevent the next. And I will pay or exchange to Herod Agrippa II and ban 2 emphatic incriminators. Again.
So 16-19?
16-15.
16-15.
So,
So would be your initiative.
all right. I will play Tenants Kill the Sun. Ban to an evil human, which will be Herod Philip II. And let's see, I could draw 2. Sure, I will draw 2. And then I will
Now take an artifact or enhancement from your hand, right?
Yeah, after stuff finishes resolving here, yep.
Yeah.
Then I will have Herod Philip banned to your Herod Agrippa I, who will negate Judas. And then I'll discard a hero. I'm gonna discard Mary. Sadly. And it is your initiative.
I did not draw anything useful, so I have to put him again in chambers. That's really awkward. Strange. 1, 2, 3.
You get rid of my Mary at least.
Yeah, but I don't know whether it's perfect. Okay, I will. Do I? Did I play a territory class this round?
Yeah, an angel appears. I think, right? That was this turn.
Yeah, this was this one. Then it will make it your turn.
Or was it last turn? I think because you played it to grab Resurrection Revealer.
Revealer, yeah.
And that was, I think that was last turn, so I don't think you'd have played one this turn.
Then, okay, let's check whether I can. I will use Clinging to take an evil card with a band or protect ability from my reserve. I'll spank it, and I will under deck Clinging. Okay.
All right, draw my 3. Put down an artifact. And I will play a good crowd's choice. I believe. Yeah. Let's go with Good Shepherd.
You can underdeck Shadow.
Yep.
Can I play Dominant?
Sure.
I will underdeck to the.
Okay. I will play Teaching in Parables. I'll negate Judas this turn. And I will reserve an evil card from your hand. Let's put that Terrence Banquet back in your reserve. And I will rescue with Good Shepherd, Strict Evil Dominance, and negate Lost Souls, and I will draw X number of my Meek Lost Souls, limit 3, so I'll draw 3.
So I can now draw 2 from my default, right?
It's negated by Good Shepherd.
Oh, okay. doesn't know his ability by heart. Ah, okay. When I bend to your executioner, can I exchange it to your Agrippa second?
No. Has to be your deck or your territory.
Okay. So strict dominance, negate lost tools, you may draw 3. I start with flip second, draw 3, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Bend to an evil New Testament gold human. Will bend to your executioner.
Guard, right?
Sorry, guard, yeah, sorry. And I will exchange guard for... How many cards do you have in your hand?
10 or 11, yeah.
If I manage to get your Shepherd negated, I guess Defied would not reactivate since the trigger has passed, but for the next card you play, right?
Right.
Let's see here. You are a 9/9 and I'm an 8/7. Or do I want to bend even? Okay, I will not bend. So my initiative?
So you're not banding to Herod's Guard?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay. No, I'm gonna play a dominant. Play the Resurrection. And I will get a good Gospel Fortress, which will be... Oh, that's a card I didn't put in here. Let's do Bethlehem Stable. And Empty Tomb Hero, which will be my Resurrection Revealer.
Okay.
And I will band in Jairus, your Judas, and Jairus's daughter. I will reveal Star of Bethlehem to negate other cards in battle with Jairus. He was one of 3 cards I drew with Good Shepherd, but the other 2 go back. And then your 3 from Herod Philip go back.
Hey guys, who went first?
I did.
René did, yeah.
Renee went first. Okay.
No top.
So we're gonna do after this turn, Jaden, Renee, and then Jaden, and that'll be it.
Okay.
Okay.
So this turn and then one more round, basically.
All right. I will then top deck Jairus' daughter to toss the next evil enhancement.
Okay, so you negated with Jairus other cards in battle, but your revealer is out, but it is not active. So can I now draw 1 or not? Since you put Jairus in?
I think it was still negated when it would have triggered.
Does it trigger after Jairus resolved or when he enters battle?
It triggers when he enters, but it doesn't activate until, or doesn't resolve until after he does. So he entered, tried to trigger. It's negated at that point, but then Jairus comes and negates Good Shepherd. We could double check on that if it doesn't look like Derek's still here, but that's my understanding.
I guess it's fine. So he's 11/10 and 9/9. Yeah, didn't play that even good. So you have now Judas, who is negated. The other guys. This is you have 3 good brigades, right?
In battle, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and also I control 3, yeah.
okay, then he dies and you are getting divided.
Alrighty. I will put down Golgotha, which is negated, and I will pass the turn.
I will use my Jerusalem since I don't think it's negated, right?
Correct.
Reserving a random card from my deck. Take that one. Rodia's daughter. Maybe I should grab her back, I don't know. I will take Antipas.
Okay.
And I put out my Herodias. Taking 2 dice back. Okay. Somehow I still managed not getting any nativity heroes into play, but okay, then let's try to make a rescue attempt with Patriator to negate your yeah, the incriminators again. Binding to Gospel Angel. Okay, then let's try to so binding to Guardians, and then do I want to take from my deck? I will band to I think Angel of the Harvest to create a Lost Soul token, and I can look at the top 5, 6, 7 and take 1. I will take Child of Spawn. And that's my rescue attempt.
Go with Herod's Guard again, prevent the next. And we'll go Herod Agrippa the Second to Vatican Incriminators.
Okay. So theoretically it would be your initiative.
Yep, unless you want to play dominant.
No, I will play a dominant. Or did you want to, or did you assume I want?
I was saying it would be my initiative unless you want to play one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about playing a dominant. Let's see. I will play the Resurrection. Nothing to search for. I can band to up to 3 New Testament human heroes. I will band to your Shepherd, your heroes. And let's check. Go to the hand. What does Shepherd do? Did you don't think Gate Lost Souls? I can draw X. For my Meek Lost Souls, I don't have Meek Lost Souls. But I can reveal a good dominant from hand to negate other cards in battle. Then I need to look which ones are negated. This is CBI. This is CBI. This one would be negated, so that guy would also go out. Okay, I will reveal a star.
Okay.
So maybe I'm kicking myself out now. So he's CBI, so he stays in battle. He's negated. This guy goes out. Shepherd is negated. Yeah, and Shepard and Jair stay. Okay. Which one is the first that is prevented by the executioner? I would say Shepard.
Sure.
Okay, then it's
it's my initiative.
yeah.
Yeah, the cards in battle. Alright, nothing is negating your Herodias, right?
No, nothing.
That would make things so much better for me, but I will play Clinging and go to my deck. CBP with Golgotha. Go for Hannes the Elder. Add him to battle. And I will underdeck. I'll underdeck the token and a Meatloss Soul. And I will not band. Let's see, so that makes me a knight. So 30, 28.
How much?
30, 28.
30 strength, 28 toughness.
Yep.
15, 15, 24, 24. Plus heroes is. So I'm 25 strength. Sorry. 35 strength, 34 toughness.
Okay.
So
my initiative then.
Yep.
Let's see. I am going to activate Herod's Temple. Reserve an angel appears.
You can't. It's if your single hero is in.
I can still reserve. It won't toss anything.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm gonna do that again. It's a lost soul. I'll do that a third time. It's Cheris's daughter. I'm gonna do it a fourth time. Ask of Fear.
Okay.
And then yep, then they will all die.
I got the soul.
Yep.
Can't be true. Okay, then it's your turn.
All right. Draw 3. Lost soul. I will do the star on Thankful Leper. Look at my top 10 cards. Okay. Good to know. Alright, are you negating good cards in my territory?
I'm negating neutrals and restricting your reserve.
Right, okay. So I will the Heavenly Host. Make a Heavenly Host token. I guess I'll activate Gifts of the Magi.
But it is negated by Resurrection Revealer.
Yes.
Still playing, huh?
Still fighting. Alright, I think this will be the way I want to go. I'm going to play Star Bethlehem. I have 2 nativity heroes, so I will activate the star on Star of Bethlehem and then also on Hospitality and Bethany in my hand. So I will draw 2 from Hospitality and Bethany. One of them is a Lost Soul. And then I will draw 2 from Star of Bethlehem.
Then I can take an artifact or enhancement from your hand, right?
I've got Bethlehem Stable, it's protecting it.
Oh, yeah, right.
And then I will play Harvest Time. I will select the number 3.
So we have Revealer, Shadow, Salty, Harvest, Galileans.
We'll do Harvest, Revealer, and Galileans.
They are not negated, or they are negated, right?
Yep. Put down another artifact. I'm gonna attack with Good Shepherd. And draw 3. Strict Evil Dominance to get Lost Souls.
So just Shepherd.
Yep, just Shepherd.
I will try to block with Antipass and grab Mutasima card from my reserve. Future Inquisition.
Okay. I will reserve my top card with Herod's Temple. Watchful Servant.
Okay. And you are 9/9, right?
Yep.
And you have how many good brigades in play? 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
So I'm tossing Treachery for 3. So you're a 6/6.
Yep.
And then I'm tossing Beheaded for 5. So you are 1/1.
Okay.
And then can I play Dominate?
It's a good one, then sure.
I can draw 1 since I have 1 Nativity Hero. I will not reveal.
Okay.
And can I still toss?
It'd be my initiative because I'm a 1/1. So
Yeah.
so I will toss No Need for Spices for 3.
Does the initiative pass by the tossing or by the last card played?
By the tossing, because I'm a 1/1 and you're a 4/3.
Yeah. And I should have done, yeah, I should have grabbed another card maybe. I was expecting that you will reserve, but you would only reserve top if I grab something like Future Inquisition, right? If I would have grabbed something else, then yeah.
Potentially. I mean, you still could have had Contagious Fear, so I probably would have still reserved.
But Contagious was in reserve, I guess.
Okay.
You guys are done?
I guess we are, yes. So you're
You are
tossing for
done?
Antipass dice. Yep, looked like. Nothing I can do for battle extension. No. Okay, then you got your third zone.
Oh, good game.
Yep.
So it's 5-2, was it?
No, 3/2.
3/2.
So Jaden won 3-2.
Yep.
Okay.
Does my video freeze? Huh. Apparently my webcam just froze as soon as we ended there, so I guess that was good timing. Yeah, that was I'm still not sure if I should have used good seed on that battle with Herod's Temple to toss down your Herod. It's like I was ready to do it, and then you flipped over undesirables with Herod's Temple. I was like, oh man, this
was
feels really
really
bad.
helping me out. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I should have just let Mary die, because later on I could have gotten her back with Talitha Cum, and I might have, like, I had Resurrection in my hand at that point, so as long as I drew another angel, I'd be able to get out Resurrection Revealer to negate undesirables.
Yeah.
But I'm pointing at stuff that's not actually working. Why is it not working?
Yeah, I should have somehow grabbed my my angel that which one is this, Ministering Spirit or the other one? I always mess them up. That creates the tokens for the Star of Bethlehem. This one I should have grabbed earlier.
Oh, yeah.
But I was
Oh, I
not.
actually I realized that I forgot to put Chamber in my deck.
I was already curious that you played, or why you played it for one token.
Yeah, that was yeah, that was silly. That's not really what okay. Yeah, I was kind of putting things together last minute last night, and or like grabbing the cards that I wanted to add, and I was like, oh, I can take out a few nativity heroes because I can just make tokens with Heavenly Host. So like I cut Zechariah and Elizabeth, and then I forgot that I didn't actually have Chamber in here already. But
yeah, so yeah, I had to swap some cards since my T1 deck and my GoC deck share some cards where I don't have the duplicates.
oh yeah.
I also messed up the first time, and then the deck list was not correct, so I had also to search for some stuff. And then I recognized I had even 2 times Herod Agrippa the first in the deck, so at least this finding I got to move him out again. Yeah, what was a little bit hectic.